Poppin' YouTube family. It's your boy the White. Welcome back to the channel, Silverback Sea. Hope all is well with everybody. First off, do me a huge favor. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Hit that bell icon so you be notified when I post new content. Now today, I am in another wonderful, nice collaboration with Barrett Fragrances. And my man over there, Ross Barrett, sent me over 2 new offerings to get my nose on and give my 2 cents. If you'd like to find out what scents they are actually inspired by and how close they got, keep it locked. Well, let's get down to the meat and potatoes. Like I stated before, I'm in collaboration today with Barrett Fragrances. As you can see, their insignia and information will definitely be in the description. Here's the box presentation, which I've probably showed you guys this before. But for those of you who've never seen a Barrett collaboration of mine, here you go. Nice boxes. These are 55 mil extrait de parfum concentrations, oil concentration form. And for a 55 mil bottle from Barrett, it's $47.99, so very, very cost efficient when it comes to the amount of juice you get versus the price and the quality of the fragrances that I've gotten thus far. But how good are these? Let's get into it. Here's your bottle presentation for 55 mil. Nice gold plated on the front. Barrett Fragrances on the top of your cap. Nice hefty glass bottle. Extrait de parfum oil concentration there. Now, this first one that we're going to be reviewing is called Valhalla Absolute, which is an Aventus Absolute clone. Let's give it a spray, and let me give you my 2 cents. Nice pressured awesome, actually, might I say, pressured atomizers for these. This one here has top notes of grapefruit and a burst of citrus, bergamot, and blackcurrant. Mid notes of ginger, cinnamon, citron, cardamom, and base notes of pink pepper, patchouli, and vetiver. But we're going to also pull up the Aventus Absolute notes so we can see how they differ and maybe or what's actually a little bit different. Top notes of Aventus Absolute: you got grapefruit, you got bergamot, pink pepper, blackcurrant, pineapple, nutmeg, and clove. Mid notes of ginger, citron, cinnamon, cardamom, and rose. Base notes of patchouli, vetiver, oak moss, and Broxton musk, Everinul, which I don't know, I've never heard of that before, and tonka bean and sandalwood. But what do I get with this one? Gotta smell it again. An amazing scent profile. Even if it was just me giving my 2 cents on it alone, this Aventus Absolute inspired fragrance that Barrett came out with, what Ross came out with, is awesome. Smells really, really good. Really, really close in spurts for the most part. I'm giving him a high percentage, but I'll get to that in a minute. Now, what I get in the Barrett version that is extremely similar, you get that signature Aventus pineapple, which is in all Aventus fragrances are inspired by. If you're going to be anywhere near close, you got to get that pineapple, right? I get the grapefruit, I get the blackcurrant, with a little bit of spice in that background. So the Barrett version doesn't have nutmeg and clove listed from what I seen in the notes. It has cardamom. And I do get the cardamom spice. But where this fragrance here versus the actual Aventus Absolute, because I've actually smelled a sample of it, where they differ is Aventus Absolute is quite a bit more spicy. So the cardamoms kind of match up when it comes to the Aventus Absolute versus the Barrett version. But without the lack of, or with the lack of the cloves / nutmeg spice and more pepper in that Aventus, that's where these differ. But they're extremely close. Now this one here, with it being an extrait de parfum scent profile, I sprayed this on my hand, and the sheen alone hung out for about 3 hours. Projection, heavy, on the heavy end of things. Between 3 and 4 hours, projection was wafting everywhere. When I wore this into the office, and when I wore this just kind of on a casual weekend moving around, it was pumping. Well off into the 7 to 8 hour mark. I had a darker shirt on, so I felt comfortable spraying it on there to make sure I didn't stain it. And it was in that shirt for at least a week as far as longevity and time it hung around. But on skin, I was well into that 8 hour mark before it became kind of a skin scent. But it wasn't one of those skin scents where you got to bury your nose into your arm and your hand just to be able to pick the fragrance up. You could just kind of move it in the vicinity of your nose, and you still could pick it up. Now, well off into about that 11 hour mark is when it was really sitting crazy close to the skin, which with the little sample that I have of Aventus Absolute was probably gone by that point in time as far as performance-wise. I got about 8 hours out of it, and it was ready to be sprayed again, and at a pretty much $500 price tag for Aventus Absolute retail, I can say that this thing right here definitely outperforms it. Now, am I going to say it smells better? No, I can't say that. Because it was going for the scent profile of Aventus Absolute. So you got to give those extra points to the original. Because you can't say it smells better than the original, with the original being the original scent DNA. On a scale from 1 to 10, what I rate this one right here, I give it a strong 8.5. It smells wonderful. My wife thought it smelled wonderful. And it's one that she said she likes on my skin. So I'm going to enjoy wearing it for sure. Now, the second fragrance that we got is called Patisserie. And it is, once again, in a straight to parfum oil concentration. Let's give it a spray. And let me let you guys know exactly what it's inspired by. Okay. Put that down here. It is inspired by Roja's Sweetie Oud, which is one I've only smelled one time in New York in Bergdorf Goodman. Now, what you get for top notes for this one here is Artemisia, bergamot, and in the mid you get May Rose, cistus, and some florals, and oud. And actually, oud is in the base notes. Oud, cardamom, gorgon, balsam, olibanum, frankincense, for the most part, some woods. In the Roja, you're going to get Artemisia and bergamot. Mid notes, gourmand, accord, May Rose and cistus. Base notes, as you know with Roja, they list everything that ever created. Oud, cardamom, gorgon balsam, olibanum, frankincense, amyris, labdanum, Spanish labdanum, juniper, gaiac wood, patchouli, cyprol, cedar wood, and cumin. Now this one here is a gourmand scent with a little bit, well, I ain't gonna say a little bit, a lot of woody nuances based in here with the Barrett. Now, when I remember smelling Sweetie Oud, to me, it gave off more of the patisserie baked bread with some fruits hanging off in the background as far as that opening. Now, the Barrett version, patisserie, does have it, but it seemed like Ross dialed up the oud presence in this particular scent, which it seems to be a little stronger than in the Rosa. So, my experience with this one here, once again, with it being extrait de parfum, it lasts about 9-10 hours easy on skin. So, longevity with Barrett fragrances is nothing you got to worry about. Now, with this particular fragrance here, how close did he get to the actual Roja? From what I remember, I think he personally needed to dial up the baked patisserie, baked bread accord to kind of give it more of the gourmand nuances, at least in the opening, because it takes about 3 hours or so for this oud that's in here that got a little stank on it, but it's not a bad stink. It's just making its presence known to where it kind of overrides the gourmand nuances for this fragrance. It hangs out for at least 2-3 hours before it allows the baked bread accord to come to the forefront and blend better. So I can say I personally, if when it comes to matching that Rosa scent profile and the Sweetie Eye Oud, I would have dialed back the oud a bit so that the gourmand nuances could hang alongside the oud for the lifetime of the fragrance, so you can actually get more of the gourmand nuance. Because to me, if you're going to use this in the cuddle buddy type of instance, or going to the movies with your lady, or at home Netflix and chilling, the oud could be a bit much in the opening versus you spraying it and letting it sit on your skin for a couple hours before y'all sit down and have y'all dinner or chill time together. It's a very, very nice scent profile, and what I appreciate from Ross sending me these are something that I don't actually have the actual bottle in my collection, so it doesn't end up being a comparison video necessarily always, or actually in the patisserie way of things, it actually got a chance to add something to my collection that I don't have, period. Nothing smells like patisserie in my entire collection. And I do have a few gourmands, but this one here stands alone as far as the DNA, what it does, how it nuances over time, and just allows me to be able to get my nose on something different. On a scale from 1 to 10 for this one here, I rated about a 7. Because I have to be in the mood for that oudy opening. And I have to be in the mood for, once the gourmand baked bread nuances come to the forefront, I have to be in the mood for that. That's not something that I would spray on and be going to go hang out with the fellas, or just chilling or fresh out the shower and I just want to smell like that. I have to be in the mood for that scent profile, preferably mid to late fall on into the winter as far as the scent profile. So here in Kansas City, with us finally getting some decent weather, it's not one that I'm going to reach for much as opposed to the Aventus Absolute clone. It's good for spring, summer, fall. You can even, it has enough strength to where you can spray it in the winter. It just wouldn't be my first option in the winter for that particular scent profile. But as far as patisserie, it's one that you want to kind of be cooler weathered scent, so, and preferably somewhere where you got a little air to allow that oud presence in the beginning to calm down and allow the entire fragrance composition to do what it do. But overall, Barrett fragrances overall period is extremely impressive. I love the offers that they got that I've got a chance to get my nose on so far. They use quality oils, with them being straight to parfum fragrance concentrations, and I can just say Ross definitely keeping up the good work. And I look forward to getting my nose on lots of fragrances from your catalog, because you make good quality stuff overall. The Barrett information will definitely be down in the description if you'd like to get on that website and check out some of their fragrances and add them to your fragrance wardrobe. But I can say both of these get 2 thumbs up, especially the Absolute Aventus clone. Other than that, that's my time. Peace.